This is Taylor Wickberg's Chapter 12 Teach It video. I will be doing it on 12.1a, number 6. I will talk about it, kind of chase it out a little bit. So the question says, prove that line AB is parallel to DE. Tried to draw the picture as best as I could. This is a picture in the book, kind of close. So that's the picture. Drew it here a little bit. So we have to prove that line AB is parallel. This is a sign for parallel to line DE. So AB is here, DE is here. Now in the original drawing in the book, they look more parallel than they do in my drawing. So we know that line AC and EC are congruent. So AC is congruent to EC and BC is congruent to DC. That is why we have these dashes. So these dashes show that they are congruent to the line across. So with that, we know that angle ACB, so this angle right here, right there, is congruent to angle ECD, so this angle right here. Okay, so we know that those two are congruent because of vertical angles. Therefore, triangle ACB is congruent to triangle ECD. So let's write that out. So we know that triangle ACB is congruent. That is our symbol for congruent. So an equal sign with a dash above it, a little squiggly line above it. Don't know that technical term. So triangle ACB is congruent to triangle ECD by, and how do we know this? This is by side, angle, side. So we look at that. Let's look at triangle ACB. ACB, side, angle, side. Now let's look at triangle ECD, side, angle, side. So that's where we get side, angle, side. And then another way to write it is just side, angle, side. Hence that, so then that is, so we know that part. Now we're gonna go on to angle DEC. So how we write that is angle So angle DEC is congruent to angle BAC by, now let's look at this. So angle DEC, so this one I'm going to do two little dashes. That's my angle for DEC to angle BAC, be this one, that one right there, is congruent. So angle DEC is congruent to BAC, so we have to make sure that we put our angle dashes the same, just like our line dashes. By, so we know that this is congruent by, I'm going to use an acronym CPCTC. And what that means, it's corresponding parts of a congruent triangle that are congruent. So they are congruent because the angles in the triangle are congruent. So AB, line AB, is parallel to line DE by, because they have congruent alternate interior angles. So if we look, congruent alternate interior angles. So, do we solve this problem? Do we prove that line AB is parallel to DE? Well, if we look, triangle ACB is congruent to triangle ECD by side, angle, side. And that angle DEC is congruent to BAC by corresponding parts of congruent triangles that are congruent. So yes, we did prove that line AB is parallel to DE by this right here. All right. Thank you and have a great night.